something that all of us, no matter what our situation in life, can give. Whatever you're doing, work at it whole-souled as to Jehovah and not to men. In stating the greatest commandment, Jesus said, "You must love Jehovah your God with your whole heart, and with your whole soul, and with your whole mind, and with your whole strength." Yes, Jehovah expects each one of us to love and serve him in a whole-souled way.
Okay, paragraph 18. We're going to ask Brother Kelvin to comment on this. If you would please, Brother Kelvin, what does Jehovah expect of us?
To do whatever we can out of whole soul devotion to Jehovah. And doing that means do it with whatever we can.
Good, thank you. And Sister Kelvin.
And this is something that anybody can do regardless of the situation that they are facing, whether it's health problems, old age, family situations, whatever the situation is, everyone can be whole-souled and do as Mark 12 verse 30 says, "You must love Jehovah your God with your whole heart, and with your whole soul, and with your whole mind, and with your whole strength." That does not depend on our individual circumstances. It depends upon our heart attitude toward Jehovah.
Thank you. So that's a real nice thought, isn't it? If you think about it, that every one of us can fulfill that. We have that opportunity, we have that ability. And it might prove to be very varying from person to person, but it doesn't mean that one loves more or less, but the circumstances may dictate what a person can do. Now, that thought there says, whatever we'll ask to Jehovah and not to men. I'd like to kind of comment on that scripture there a little further. Sister Powell, please.
All of us have varying circumstances when it comes to our lives, but no matter what we're doing, we all have the opportunity to share in the Christian ministry in some way. And while that doesn't come naturally to us, it's something that we can give whole soul to Jehovah out of our love for him.
That's right. Thank you. And Brother Christensen.
Oftentimes you see people doing something they really want to do. Restoring a car, for example. Boy, they're out there working their brains out, working up a sweat. They're doing it whole soul because they want that done. So with that attitude or that type of thing, it's the way we want to serve Jehovah. Like we want this done.
That's right. And Sister Deeds, please.
And our service is to Jehovah. It's not to any human. It's not to the elders. It's not to our mate. It's to Jehovah. So that will prompt us to do more than we would for any other person.
Very good. Nice point. Thank you. All right. In short, I guess we can say whatever you're doing, do it in a manner that it would bless Jehovah's name, right? Whatever that we're doing, whatever it may be. It's a real nice thought when you think about it, that we can bless Jehovah with anything that we're doing, especially when it relates to his will. Okay, let's now go on to paragraph 19, please.
What does it mean to serve God whole-souled? The soul refers to the entire person, with all his physical and mental abilities. Since the soul embraces the heart, the mind, and the strength, why are these other faculties mentioned in Mark chapter 12, verse 30? Consider an illustration. In Bible times, a person might sell himself into slavery. Yet the slave might not serve his master wholeheartedly. He might not use his full strength or his full mental
You mean
abilities.
you people don't get it? No.
And Jesus evidently mentioned these other faculties
you
in order to emphasize
don't tell me
not
you
holding
just
anything
volunteered.
back in our service to God.
Yes.
Serving God whole-souled,
Well, I figured that
giving
much.
of ourselves,
What about the rest of you?
our strength and
you just don't.
energies to the fullest extent
Oh,
possible
God.
in service.
You don't get it?
Does serving
You don't
whole soul mean that
understand
we must
what the
all
root of
spend
the
the same
problem-
amount of time and energy in the ministry? That could hardly be possible, for circumstances and abilities differ from one person to another. For example, a young person with good health and physical stamina may be able to spend more time in preaching than can one whose strength is sapped by advancing age. A single person who is free from family obligations may be able to do more than can one who has to care for a family. If we have the strength and circumstances that enable us to do much in the ministry, how thankful we should be. Of course, we would never want to have a critical spirit, comparing ourselves with others in this regard. Rather, we want to use our power to encourage others.
Okay. Paragraph 19 and 20 now. Excuse me, the A portion. Since the soul includes the heart, the mind, and the strength, why are these other faculties mentioned in Mark chapter 12, verse 30? Brother Walker.
Paragraph brings out for us that back in Bible times, people sold themselves as slaves. But, however, they didn't give wholeheartedly. The master wasn't looking. They would not do the work properly, or they would slack off. And then it's brought out in Colossians 3:22 that slaves be obedient to human masters, not only when they are watching. Fear Jehovah, work whole soul. So, as far as Jehovah's concerned, we always want to give from our person. And that's why Jesus mentioned this.
It was a nice analogy, wasn't it? I think it's a more explanation on that. Mr. Paul, please.
So then it's more than just physical ability, it's the motivation behind it. It's why you're doing it and why you want to do it.
The attitude, isn't it? If you have to employ someone and you're paying them a certain rate per hour, and with that rate there's a certain expectation of fulfillment for that hour, and it's not happening, how would you feel? If you're paying this person this money per hour. Mr. Rainer, please.
Well, you wouldn't feel like paying him very much because he's not really using all of his strengths and energy that he should be doing or she should be doing.
Yes, very good. Thank you. Okay. And so we can see why it's important for us to work whole soul for Jehovah. And again, why is it that we do this? Is there any fearful expectation, or what's the motivation? Sister Rainer, please.
Motivation is our love for Jehovah, but also our love for our neighbor, because both of those, our neighbors' lives are in danger. So we want to be out there and try to help them to see the truth that can set them free.
Thank you. Sister Pop, please.
And love is a lasting motivator. There's loyalty attached to it. It's more than just payment of a reward, or it goes beyond satisfaction even because there's a connection to the reason why you're doing it.
Thank you. Please, Ms. Morris.
The last sentence of paragraph 19 really caught my attention when it says, to the fullest extent possible, because we all have to look in the mirror and see if we're really doing it.
Thank you. The first words of that commandment that is spoken of there is you must love Jehovah your God with your whole heart. And it follows with the mind and the whole strength. The whole heart means that we're not divided in our ambitions, right? Our ambitions and our goals should be centered around kingdom interests. That verse make Jehovah's heart rejoice, don't we? Let's look at our B portion. What does it mean to serve Jehovah with all soul? Kelton.
To do our best according to the circumstances that we have, because not everyone is going to be able to spend the same amount of time in the ministry. You have someone who is young and in good health and physical stamina. They would be able to do more than maybe one who's advancing age limits how much they can do in the ministry.
That's very good. Thank you. So everybody's circumstance is different, and Jehovah recognizes that. Brother Renner, please.
Also, it points out that we never would want to compare ourselves with others, and it likens that to having a critical spirit. If I start comparing, I'm doing so much more than so-and-so, why is he able to be an elder and I'm not, or be a ministerial servant and I'm not? We don't want to, that's a critical spirit that we should never develop. Like the scripture says in Romans, that we're going to each have to give an account for ourselves to God. That's what counts. Make sure we're doing it whole soul.
Sometimes, as you mentioned, when a person has that kind of criticism, the answer is given to them by their own questions. Why am I not doing this, or why am I doing that, and he's doing this, and making comparisons? Well, the answer's right there, because you don't have the right spirit. And Jehovah sees that. So what we want to do is, as Brother Rainer mentioned, we don't want to enter that aspect of complaining or making comparisons, being critical. Because why is this important? How does Jehovah view the person that we might be critical toward? Brother Deach, please.
Christ died for them as well. They're part of the flock. Loves them.
That's right. Brother Powell, please.
And one of the crazy things about that whole line of thought is that none of us has any idea what another person's whole-souled efforts are. We can barely figure out our own, let alone trying to figure out what someone else's whole-souled efforts are, and if they're measuring up from the outside. Only Jehovah knows that. So we do well just to look at ourselves, make sure we're giving Jehovah our best, and then have him bless us for that.
That's very good. Thank you. Very important. Excellent comment, Brother Powell. Thank you. Okay. Just looking at this paragraph to see if there's some points that we could even I think we commented on all of them. So let's now go on to paragraph 21, please.
Jehovah has set the perfect example in using his power aright. We want to imitate him to the best of our ability as imperfect humans. We can use our power aright by treating with dignity those over whom we have a measure of authority. In addition, we want to be whole-souled in carrying out the life-saving preaching work that Jehovah has given us to accomplish. Remember, Jehovah is pleased when you give the best that you, your soul, can give. Does not your heart move you to want to do all you can in serving such an understanding and loving God? There is no better or more important way to use your power.
What is the best and most important way to use our power? You ever think of yourself having power? We do, don't we? And that's why we're going through this lesson, and we don't want to misuse it. So the question is, again, what is the best and most important way to use our power? Have Sister Morrison, please.
We all have a measure of power. Earlier in the chapter, we talked about the power that we have within the family arrangement, whether we're the wife or the husband or the child, the congregation. We really have a lot of power in our hands, so we always want to make sure that we treat those that we have this measure of power over with dignity and with respect.
That's Brother Amy, please.
And also, we can also fall into the category of having a certain measure of power when it comes to the preaching work. We have the responsibility and the privilege of being able to tell those ones that may be longing to hear about Jehovah, the promise that Jehovah has in store for them. Romans 10, 13, and 14 mentions the fact that 14 pretty much says, how can they call on him if they cannot put faith in him? How in turn will they put faith in him about whom they have not heard? So it's our responsibility to be able to let them hear about Jehovah so that they have an opportunity to put faith in him.
Thank you. Sister Dietrich.
If we're doing all we can to serve Jehovah, that really is the best, the most important way to use what power we have. And we have the best example to follow, and that's Jehovah himself. He uses power so perfectly and for the good of others. So when we imitate him, then we're doing our best for him.
Thank you. Sister Randy, please.
And I like the last sentence in paragraph 20 where it says, and instead of looking at people with a critical spirit, why not use our power to encourage others? And then when we encourage others, we are encouraged. So it's always a good thing to think about and treat them with dignity.
Thank you. Is there any incident in the Bible that you can point to where Jehovah God actually used too much power? Mr. Keller?
No, Jehovah's always controlled in his use of power, so he only uses as much power as is necessary for any situation that he needs to use it in. And he always uses all four of his attributes, love, justice, wisdom, and power. He always uses in harmony with each other, so he will never abuse or use too much power.
Are there accounts in the scriptures where Jehovah has dealt with those who had abused their power, even sometimes disciplining his own nation? Have there been accounts that you can recall where a nation that was being used by Jehovah overused the rod, so to speak, in correcting its people? Brother Deacon.
Yes, on both parts of your question with regard to individuals who overstep their
You just
authority
fade.
or
I
power,
just better. Before you get back.
misused it, and even
Just
entire
better.
nations,
Literally.
such as the case of Babylon.
They went beyond the extent that Jehovah had wanted them to. They did it in excess. Ptolemy, that's what he was talking about.
I was going to mention Jesus' illustration of the rich man who forgave his servant a lot of money, and the servant didn't forgive his servant for a little bit of money. Of course, that was a lesson in mercy, which is essentially not using your power to the extent that you could have used it. So what a fine lesson that was.
Thank you. Okay, so we got some questions for meditation here. We're going to ask you, the audience, to, if you would volunteer, we'll call on whoever wants to put these questions there, rather to read the scriptures for us. So let's take a look. What valuable thing do we possess, and how can we use these to honor Jehovah? So we got Proverbs chapter 3, verse 9 and 10, and Sister Paula Beach, please.
Honor Jehovah with your valuable things, the first fruits of all your produce. Then your storehouses will be completely filled, and your vats will overflow with new wine.
Thank you. And please, Brother Deach.
Some of the valuable things that we have, of course, are material assets or money, our influence, our children.
Thank you. Brother Bill, please.
And our time is a very valuable thing. People find time to be one of the most valuable things we never get enough of. We never have enough of it. So we have the time to give to Jehovah. That's what we should be doing.
It's the stuff life is made of, right? Okay, please, Brother Chris.
How about our own bodies? Young and very healthy. It's a great gift. We can offer Jehovah there. Getting out in the ministry, if we're old and not so fast, still it's like the widow's mite. Still something very dear and precious to Jehovah. We got ourselves, we can use it, give to Him.
What do people often collect? They collect new coins or old coins? Collect old coins, right? Jehovah, those who are elderly, not old coins, don't mean to compare either, but you're valuable to Jehovah. And what you do, as Brother Christian mentioned, the whole soul, no matter how much it brings Jehovah's heart a good measure of joy, of course. Please, Brother.
We also, as individuals, all have different talents that we can lend to Jehovah's service, whether it be working with your RBC or pioneering or whatever that might be. Some people have a better gift of speech, and some are better with their hands. So we can share those.
That's right. Thank you. Let's go on to the next one. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verses 5 and 10. Why should you use your strength now in a manner that God will approve? Have just a little bit.
Let me read the whole thing. For the living know that they will die, but the dead know nothing at all, nor do they have any more reward, because all memory of them is forgotten. Also, their love and their hate and their jealousy have already perished, and they no longer have any share in what is done under the sun. Go, eat your food with rejoicing, and drink your wine with a cheerful heart, for already the true God has found pleasure in your works. May your clothing always be white, and do not fail to put oil on your head. Enjoy life with your beloved wife all the days of your futile life, which He has given you under the sun, all the days of your futility. For that is your lot in life, and in your hard work at which you toil under the sun. Whatever your hand finds to do, do with all your might. For there is no work, nor planning, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave where you are going.
That's very true. Now, in light of that scripture, why should we, as a question, is why should you use your strength now in a manner that God will approve? Sister Powell, please.
For the scripture in can't remember which verse, the one where it says that, the reward of them has been, all memory of them is forgotten in verse 5. One of the cross references is to chapter 2, verse 15, that says, what happens to the stupid one will also happen to me. What then did I gain by becoming excessively wise? This too is futility. So our lives are short, and the most important thing, the most valuable thing we can give to Jehovah is our time and our energy, because once we have passed away, there's absolutely nothing we can do at that point. We're all equal again.
Thank you. All right. Please,
A young man I used to be. And I can attest to this fact that the strength that I used to have is not there anymore. I can remember throwing 100-pound sacks of potatoes up on the back of a truck. Now I have trouble lifting a 40-pound sack of something I might get at one of the stores. So our strength goes away as we get older, so it's better to use that strength in Jehovah's service while we're young. But it's not wrong to continue